Hello, dear wonderful people. My name is Marc Romboy, and this is Roberto Babichko.
Robert Babic. And you
Correct.
see, have you ever done this in your life?
My moderation. And we heartily welcome you to Marotopia, episode number 14 already.
Boah. Wow.
And we say hello to Mickey, to Thorsten, to Jupp, to Adriano, to James, to
me.
Stuart, to Robert,
Thorsten.
to Abraham, to Patrick, to everyone who has a Marotopian passport.
Mickey and Jonathan and Thorsten. Yeah, welcome. 1 week later. And André. Hey, André. And Benny.
Yeah.
And James. Adriano. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Robert, how are you today?
I'm good.
How was your last
No,
week?
actually, I'm fine. Last week, as you remember, I was super nervous. I had these 2 shows in Poland. They were great. I loved it. I understood how much I missed this part of my life, to be on the stage, share the music with the people, and see happy people, because I beat them with my beats. Amazing, you know this. You know the feeling. I prepared a little video for us to show you how it is, this travel. Like I basically was taking my phone and filming the whole trip from leaving home till coming back in a small 4 minutes video. I prepared this for you guys to show you how a weekend in 4 minutes looks. Hello, Tommy. I see. Okay, I'm the one who brings the comments back, right?
Yeah, it's your job. So now you cannot see me anymore, just my head. Yeah, we have a pretty ram-packed show tonight. We have 2 guests tonight, 2 this time. First of all, we will welcome André Michelle. He will be in our studio in something like 50 minutes. And afterwards, we have a Marotopian in our show, André, because he has a few questions he wants to ask us.
Right.
So very exciting tonight. And of course, we have the track check. We will check another 2 tracks. And full program. So what's this? There is no heaven and hell? Heaven is when your life is good. Hell is when your life is bad. Okay. Maybe for another show. Maybe. Okay. Do you want to show us the movie?
Yes, please. So watch out. If you've never seen a DJ going to a plane, now you can see it. One moment. Okay. Yeah. It's coming. Have fun.
Oh, good morning.
Oh my God.
4 a.m. Friday morning.
This was real.
Okay, let's wake up. Let's start this weekend. Every morning is my coffee. Traditional coffee.
Nice. So your weekend in a nutshell. You have to switch on your microphone, by the way.
So that was a full weekend in 4 minutes, and the track is unreleased yet. I just made a video. It comes out soon. As you know, guys, I have so much music. The whole pandemic made me very, very busy doing music. So yeah.
So you have music for the next 5 years to release.
Yeah, and just in the last few weeks, I already made so much more music. And and my voice. When I came back from Poland, I got a cold, and I was kind of afraid that I'm getting this dangerous C, but no, it was just a cold. I had a lot of tea and vitamin C and stuff, and I'm fine. Back on track. So here I am.
Back on track. So maybe the Marotopians have some questions regarding your weekend, because I hope so. And I have some questions as well, because, I mean, the last weekend was a benchmark for you. A special moment and an unforgettable gig weekend, which stays in your mind. So when you woke up Monday morning in Malta, what was your thought and your feeling?
The first was because I was feeling shit, like super sick. I thought, fuck. and then the second thing was, wow, well done. This was amazing. And actually my thank you, Robert. Actually, my next show that I have is again in Poland, in Warsaw. So looking forward again. Yeah,
but you were in Warsaw. I saw it. I saw. I could recognize the airport.
Have you recognized the first one in the video? Because you should know Vienna.
Yeah, of course. But I was quite relaxed because I saw no queues. That's always something which relaxes me a lot.
Yeah, no queues, and the travel was quite. It was long. 3 flights to the way to Gdansk. Then next day, actually, I didn't had any video material from the first gig because I just had fun.
Enough to
and
do.
Only on the second show, I was like, I need to make at least a few seconds. But I was so in the music. Basically, this was the first real travel weekend for me this year. So it's special. I think I will, when I will be a grandpa one day, I will explain this to my grandchildren, how it was after 2 years.
That would be nice. Here's the first question. No, you're clicking too fast.
Yes.
Well. Is there any funny stories from the weekend? Did everything go to plan?
Everything go to plan, and my wish was to get Polish pierogi, and even that worked out. No, everything was nice. Actually, surprisingly, everything was nice. I had some flight delays, but the flights were programmed that I had time between, so that was good. Like usually, I never take the last possible flight. I always take the flights that, if something goes wrong, I still have another option to come. So it worked. The shows were nice. The people were treating me super nice. I was just happy playing. I had so much music, and I could play only so tiny. I think on the first show, two and a half, almost 3 hours. The second show, three. I wanted to play 4 or 5 hours, but next time.
C'est la vie, sometimes pierogi, question mark.
Yeah, pierogi. Have you ever tried pierogi in Poland? Do you know this?
I don't know what it is. No.
It's like dim sum, but the Polish version.
Okay, cooked.
Yeah, food.
No, cooked. I mean, cooked with meat.
Yeah, the pierogi that I like, they have a special name, pierogi ruski. The Russian version of them with potato inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no meat inside. That's my favorite ones.
Also well known in Canada, as you can see.
Yeah, pierogi. Yay.
Before we invite our guest or let our guest in our studio, 2 more things. One question is here. How many equipment do you need, and how did you take it to Poland?
Oh, hand luggage, one bag and one suitcase. So
Okay.
that's totally fine. And maybe you have seen, I got a really cool news today. I have a booking for August in Ibiza. Got invited by Carl Cox to DC10. So guys, if you ever been to Ibiza DC10,
come this season.
Come. I need some support from you, from our Marotopia.
It will be ramped packed for sure. Do you know who else is playing there besides Carl and yourself?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But the concept is live music, live acts, playing live with gear.
Yes.
Also, during the week, I just started to play my bass again, and but I don't take my bass. But I will. I will preparing a small suitcase for a modular suitcase, taking with me to make some strange sounds. Because on the gigs in Poland, it was super interesting to feel that the people, they want energy, but not just simple like hard techno energy. No, they want like sexy energy, but with so much power. I loved it. It's like, when things are not like 100%, when the music is not so polished, but have like raw, pure beats. You will see. And Marc is also, I spoke with, Marc, we speak quite often. Marc is totally right, Marc. You are in this raw feeling at the moment as well. This
music production-wise.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely. And
your latest release is kind of raw for you from my perspective, and I like it. It's nice.
That's the new Marc Romboy. Resistance to riot on the dance floor. No, you're right. It's more fun. I can say it. We discussed it before. I'm a little bit sick, or I'm pretty sick of all these, not all, but many polished releases these days. So we have 2 different things. Very nice neo-trance stuff on the one hand, and on the other hand, fast beats with one melody or sample, which is well known for many years, and this bores me a little bit. So that's why I'm doing some riot beats at the moment. But more to come. And as we said last week, Randomized is out on Compact for all those who haven't checked it yet. Okay, so let's invite our guest.
Yeah, and Robert, no, I didn't forget any cable, luckily, but I checked my baggage 3 times before I left. Yeah, let's welcome André.
Yeah, here we go.
From André.
Hello.
Hey,
Nice to see you
André.
guys.
Welcome,
Nice to see
André
you.
Michelle. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And where are you?
Well, I'm in Bonn right now. That's my new home base for a
Great.
few months now. I was living in Cologne before 15 years, but now, for the sake of love, I moved to Cologne, to Bonn.
Yeah,
So
Bonn is the former capital of Germany before the walls came down. A very nice city and the birthplace of
Beethoven. Oh, that was for
what person?
Robert, right?
I know.
You know it, of course, but
Bonn has also the Beethoven house, the birth house.
yeah. So for all
him.
Marotopians who are coming to
But-
Bonn one day, don't
Yeah.
miss the birth house of Beethoven.
Actually, I have a favorite place. It's close to Bonn. It's called Drachenfels
I've been there twice.
in the Siebengebirge, and the Drachenfels is my most favorite magical mountain because during the 90s, in the Rob Acid days, I was going up the mountain during the night and doing some illegal psychedelic stuff there and talking to the gods. So it's a special place in my heart. Definitely.
Great. Yeah, so for all those who want to learn more about André, we have prepared something because André released a fantastic classic of the 90s on my former label, Le Petit Prince. And for the younger Marotopians, we would like to show you a piece of this track.
Mm-hmm. Mark, is there any beat, or is this phased out?
We are very close.
It's a breakdown. It's an intro. Now, okay.
There's a very sudden modulation in this melody, which kind of comes across the encoding here. Sounds very smushy for me. Yeah, that's the jam, right?
Release date?
1995. That's
1995.
27 years ago. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Crazy Wahnsinn, 27 years ago. I can't believe this.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, you know, Andre, that I'm a big fan of this track, and what I really love about it, and sometimes you cannot really describe it. This track is very minimal, and it's worked
Yes.
so amazingly on the dance floor. To me, it's a
Yeah.
bit like Chicago House 2.0 after Chicago House 1.0 in the early 90s. And yeah, the track is magical. Do you remember when you produced it, how it was, and which equipment you used?
Yeah, I think I was inspired by George Morel. There was one track from George Morel, which there was just one organ sound playing a super simple melody, and then it was called Groove, I think.
Morel's Groove Part 4.
Yeah, probably maybe another part. I don't really remember.
Okay.
But I love this track, and I heard it all the time, and I played it when I was DJing back then. And yeah, I really liked at this time this kind of music. So super simple, no big breaks, just popping in and popping out kicks from the 909, the hi-hats, and that's it. Yeah, a little bit of groove, and so here we go. I cannot stand it today it still does something to me when I listen to it. Maybe it's because I remember, so there are so many images coming back to me when I'm listening to this song, but it doesn't really count on my account for, wow, that's a really good track that I did. It's a popular track, but of course, yeah, at this time I wanted to do completely different music. We had no money back then, so we with a few friends we just compiled some money, and then we bought a sampler, which was basically the first mistake we did, because actually what we wanted to do was music like Surgeon was doing. You know Surgeon? I don't have his name right now. Sorry?
Surgeon,
Yeah.
Surgeon, and Jeff Mills, of course, and there were so many records out there at the time that are just playing with frequency modulation and doing some weird stuff. So what I liked about good techno music was basically that you don't have a melody, that you can extract the instruments out of a techno track. It must be some whooshy, smashy something, and then a good isolated kick in the mix, and then I still would have a good time on a dance floor. And this track was, from the instruments, just having a sampler with 2 megabytes. So there were just a few 909 samples fitting in there. And then we have the Waldorf microwave, which was even at this time a very expensive digital synthesizer. So still no tweaking, no 303-ish or something sounds very popish, kind of
solid,
sounds. Yeah, exactly, and that's it. And so we used the effect bus from the sampler, and here we go. Yeah, so I sent it to Hardwax in Berlin and said, "Can you master it in terms of? Can you just put in some punch, because it was really." Yeah, there was no good mixing behind it or something. No, because we didn't have a mixer at this time. Yeah? We just had these 2 effect buses and 2 inserts from the sampler. That was basically our mixing unit. Yeah, it was fun nevertheless, and it's so nice to see that there's still some fans of this track. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, I think we can unveil that we are currently preparing a repressing. So the record will come out in a few months again on Esprit de la Jeunesse. All original 3 tracks plus a really cool Silent Brute remix Thomas P. Heckman made around 2001 or 2002. So yeah, I think in autumn the record will be out, late summer, autumn, and I'm really looking forward to it. So now, so many years later, what do you think about the characteristic of the track? Because when I listen to the track, there are two things which pop into my mind. The first thing is that it's also very minimal effect-wise. And what really amazes me is Robert is a big fan of breaks. So the break is very, very long, and there's a lot of patience, which I like. I mean, it's also a statement, because when you made the track, it was the time when tracks came out on Bonsai, like Cherry Moon Tracks 1 or Jones and Stevenson, First Rebirth. And these tracks were the counter example of your break. So how did you come to the idea? Because to me, it was, I mean, of course, I knew it from Chicago House Records, but you were one of the few ones in Germany who walked this way. Do you remember why and what your intention was?
Nah, not really. I remember sitting in front of Cubase on an Atari ST and pushing squares, like square pusher. And that was basically it. And I think if we would have had a mixing unit, a proper mixing unit with effect buses and stuff, and EQs, we didn't have EQs in our studio, so that would have been a completely different drop. Yeah, it would be with filtering and delaying and echoing and putting it in different rooms, reverb rooms, but that was not available for me. So it's just, yeah, maybe it's just this lucky coincidence. Well, it depends if you like the song or not, if it was a lucky coincidence.
Yeah, here's the right comment. Pascal, nice workflow. Limitation is often the key. That's exactly the point. I have to tell you that we are doing track check in every episode as well, also tonight, later tonight. And Robert and I, we sometimes criticize the aspect that not so many things are happening also on a subtle level in the tracks the people are showing. I mean, your track is the perfect counter example, and it shows me once again that also Robert and I, we can tell the people whatever we want, and of course there is a reason that we are talking about this. But once again, when the substance of the track is great, you don't have to do much more, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the most criticism I have when I listen to proper techno music, that people are trying to put too much inside. Yeah, so there is the beat is starting, some techno beat, and it has a really cool undefined substance running bass line. You cannot really grab it, but it does something really good to you. And for me, it's like, okay, can you please keep it like that for at least 2 minutes so I can just dance my ass off? But no, then there is coming, I don't know, some female sexy vocals, and then the whole thing is just gone for me. So we did a lot of music back then, and there were a lot of tracks that were 8, 9, 10 minutes long. And I think you need a proper scenario, like a good party, a good mood of the people on the dance floor, a very good sound system. And then you can, as a DJ, you should be able to, to play more monotone stuff and really say, okay, this is material, really good material. We don't need to change the record every 30 seconds or I don't know what. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just trust your material, just go for it, and don't break it too often. I'm not a big fan of drops either. I wouldn't even call it a drop in A2.
Oh, Robert is your best friend from now on.
just a steady stream of sounds. That's all I need, and very small things to be added and removed. And if you do that right, you are really a master of techno. That's what I think. But it's probably the reason why I don't release any records anymore.
Yeah, the thing is, the time is running completely. The feeling of time is different on the dance floor. So a 5 minute one pattern groove is like nothing. But at home, it would be like super boring to hear one pattern for 5 minutes. At the dance floor, it's exactly like the right thing for that moment. And that's why dance floors are so important, and we need real parties with real people and not just sitting at home watching YouTube
streams like this, like this one, yeah.
Yeah. So real, dance floor and a massive sound system, and then you just let the sounds work on you, work it. Right, André. Actually, as I don't know you so much like Marc knows you. Have you produced more releases after that?
I think there was one
music.
There was one record on Müller Records. I don't know if anyone from you
I know
knows Frank Müller from Berlin. I think he's still in Berlin and he's still doing stuff. That's actually a record I'm a little bit more proud of in terms on that we had more. So we invested a little bit more money in our studio. So we had a mixer and we had some analog devices, and the stuff that came out of that was actually quite nice. It was a little bit badly mixed. So like too loud, too smushy, and but that's a different story. That's 2006, and after that, not really. So today it's so easy to publish something somewhere. So I wouldn't say it's the re-release of A2 is really cool for me because it just proves that I did something that is going back in this traditional way of pressing vinyl and being on a record label. That's super cool. I did some releases on Bandcamp, and I have a SoundCloud account. So this is how it works today. If you just work for yourself and have some fun in the evening.
But did you lost the love for music, or
no.
It feels like you were not pushing enough, or what's the reason?
I think I found my place a little bit. I don't know what that means actually. What I did is I was a little bit frustrated back then because I was thinking that I was able to create and produce really, really good techno, because in my head there was just all day from getting up in the morning to I listened to techno music to go to sleep. So I can really remember that, and that was actually even in the late 80s with acid music and stuff. So the 303 was my lullaby, so to say. But without money back then, it was really complicated to get the hands on those devices. Because the 303 was like 2,000 Deutsche Mark. So there was a lot of money back then. And the money I got from DJing was just like nothing. It was just enough to get the next records and so get some new material. So I remember back then that I promised to myself, if I get in some way successful and get some money, a lot of money, then I would create studios in big towns and just invite young people like me to, hey, here is the stuff. Try if this is something for you, and make some music. And this didn't happen, but the internet happened. So I was actually early in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was seeing that we are heading somewhere with the internet, that it might be possible to create music in the internet. So I started working on 909 TR909 emulator at these days in Flash with the Flash player, and that was funny because I created it in a few days and I put it online, and then on the next morning I had a website with like a few hundred people coming there every day. Yeah, and the next morning I was looking at my statistics, and there were 100,000 people. Yeah, so they were all just checking out this weird 909 drum machine, and that was the kickstart for me back then for a project now called Audi2 with 2 million people making music online. So I switched sides basically from being someone who wants to make music to someone who tries to enable people to make music. Yeah, because still you can get a lot of software for relatively few money these days, but for a student or for people, for very young people like 12, 13-year-old, $100 is a lot of money. Yeah, and then you need some VST instruments and so on. So it was always my dream and my goal to have software that runs in the internet with a community that can exchange ideas. I was actually thinking that people were just using it for techno, but that's definitely not the case. That was just in the first month I was seeing, okay, they are doing everything with that electro hip hop, trip hop, and now trap, of course, and stuff. But still, I'm very happy that I can do that.
Now I'm getting curious. You need to show us something.
Yeah, and you made already the introduction for the next topic yourself. So I have no work tonight. It's good. You made the transition to the topic yourself. Because there are actually two reasons why, or three reasons why we invited you. Number one is, of course, that you are a very sympathetic guy. Number two is your classical track from the 90s we just listened to. And number three is your webpage. And it's a very, very special webpage. And you just introduced it, and we would love to see it now, because this webpage, Marotopians out there, believe it or not, is an online tool, browser-based, and with this tool you can make music, techno music, for free so far. Maybe not forever, but at the moment it's for free. And André hopefully shows it to us now.
Yeah, sure. Can you see the studio?
I'm very curious. I know this machines.
Here we go. So I prepared a little bit of something. Most guys recognize these 303, 909. We have a mixing unit. We have on the right side. Can you see my cursor? That would be helpful,
Mark, can you show the address of the website? Can you put that in the banner?
Yeah, of course. Everyone is invited to take a look for themselves. So I prepared a little bit something. So I just press play and see what happens. We have a lot of dropouts, and that's because my computer, my fans are really blowing like something. I think the StreamYard and at the same time our studio, it's a little bit too much. Let just try again, but it response is not really good. Oh, it's getting better. Well, so far so good. I think maybe because I have two things at the same time that are drawing a lot of resources, not the best idea.
Yeah, but that was good. I mean, we already understand. the principle of this tool. Maybe besides listening to music, you can tell us how this tool works. And
Yeah, because I also have questions. Yeah, I directly
a lot of
have
questions.
questions.
Okay, so let me
Where-
stop sharing.
No,
Yeah.
maybe you can we can share the screen once again, because so that you can at least answer
Yeah,
the questions with showing what's going on. Because my first question would be is where's the sequencer, where's the arrange window, and how to use it. Can you maybe
We
give
can
it
do
to
that.
us
I'm
again?
launching and sharing the screen.
I mean, music-wise, we have an impression now. That's all good, and everyone can register him or herself on audiotool.com, correct?
Sure. Yeah, doesn't cost a
And-
thing. You can use
Yeah,
your
it's
Google
free.
account, Facebook account. So you can see my screen again, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So what you can see here is basically a 2D desktop. In principle, you can just add as many instruments as you like and place them here on this canvas, so to say.
Which
And then,
instruments in example? I mean, we see Robert's faves, the 303 and the 909 for beats and
right.
bass.
We have
What else?
different. We have this machinist. That's the name of this guy here. That's basically a sample player for drum sounds. Then we have an 808. I don't put them all now on the desktop, but the main leading instruments are these three drum machines. Then the 303. We have the pulverizator, which I show you because that's a really nice device. Mimics analog subtractive synthesis. We have an FM synthesizer with 4 operators.
DX7 style?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So you can program it as you like, and you can, in theory, try to emulate certain sounds from the DX7. And we have this relatively new device from last year that's called Space, and it's basically an additive wavetable synth. So it creates wavetables, makes really nice pads.
Wow.
And yeah, so there's plenty more to discover. There are a lot of effects and mixing and utility stuff. So it's really up to you to
Space Echo.
You can easily, yeah, Space Echo. We have something that's called the pulsar delay, which basically takes input, delays it, and then makes crossover in the stereo room. So it's perfect for dub techno. Yeah, just put in a chord and let it work. Or the Quasar is actually a community-driven plugin. So in our community, of course, there are developers. There was one developer creating this reverb, which from a paper that he found, and I saw it, and then we figured out, well, why not add it to AudioTool, and we created it. The knobs are coming from the community. The whole layout, even from Space, there were a lot of people from the community working on that. So we have a small moderator. How can I call them? VIP group in AudioTool, like 30 people or something that are working really close to us, giving up us feedback and
beta testers.
Yeah, that's what they're doing as well. But they are doing much more. They are writing manuals. They are talking to the community, explaining things.
Wow.
It wouldn't be possible for us because we are a very small team.
As this is a web page, is it working on something like this then? Is it working on mobile? It's a web page, so is it working on a mobile phone?
In theory, it is working on mobile, but it doesn't make any sense because usually when you create something for mobile, you need completely different approaches regarding the user interface. So
Okay.
the UX for mobile is just terrible. It is made for desktop, and but of course,
Okay.
if we get the funding, and we are actually looking at some funding right now in the next weeks, month. So it are actually quite exciting times. Then we will hire people, and then we will go and see what we can do for mobile tablets, and having smaller audio to micro versions that can contribute to the big version so for train rides, or just having a second screen, or
Exactly.
I don't know. There are so many options that we are
Wow.
just
Yeah, I could imagine
evaluate.
having this on my iPad, and maybe
Right.
even playing this as additional to my show, to my live show. I can imagine creating some patches together, and
Definitely. You can also plug in a MIDI device, so or more than one, so one with a lot of controllers, and one to play some melodies if you like that, and it's really easy to connect it. Yeah, so just plug it into your computer, and then you can basically every knob you see here can be controlled via MIDI. Just make a right click and say, I want to have this connected. Oh, now I'm using the wrong cursor. I got confused. So yeah, can you see that? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see everything. Yeah, guys, this means that the next holidays with our girlfriends or boyfriends are safe, right? You are on the beach and you can use audio tools. I have one question with regards to iPad usage. Could it be an idea to release this as an app? And if yes, or maybe also if no, but how many megabytes would this be like if it's an app?
It wouldn't be that big, funny enough, because we built it for the web. So I think all the assets, everything, when you load it in, I think the textures of the devices are actually like 16 megabytes, and then like 2 megabytes of code. But if you compare it to any other DAW, digital audio workstation, where you download like 2 gigabytes before you can do anything, of course it's tiny. Yeah, it's very tiny. And so we are working on a new audio engine, which will be able to compile to a new technology in the web, which will be much faster. And so in code execution, which basically means you can use more and your fans are not warming up that fast. But I need to blow some air into this machine. It's really getting hot very fast. So yeah, sorry for that. And the new engine will be portable from scratch, so it will be it can run on a server even. So if your computer is not fast enough, we can just offer you a stream. Yeah, so you can do your stuff, and you send it to the server, and the server is just rendering everything for you. Of course, you get a latency that's not so. But for beginners, that's fine. Yeah, if you get a pro, then you will invest some money and you go for low latency. But if you're just doing some testing and figure out if you are a producer, if you want to be a producer, then that's fine. And
can you rebuild your track, your old hit on this website?
I did.
Good question. Good point, Robert.
I did. There's a version. You just have to find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, here's a question: is there any arranged window? Is there how do you arrange a song, or you play it live like with hardware?
Sure. We can switch just again. And I can show you how this works. So here we go. You can see here in the bottom, I can just make this bigger. And you have tracks here, or lanes, depending on you want to call them. And there are also there's tempo automation here hidden under this button. And then you this is for the pulverizateur, so it's a synthesizer, and you can easily create a region, and you have your piano roll, and there are a few nice things to just play with. Everything which is really cool, which I like, is loopable. So from the start, if you create a region, you don't have to copy it 128 times to the end of your track. You can just drag it and it gets repeated. And this counts for automation, for loops and everything. So I really like that. And there's also an option to create, virtual regions. So these are connected now. So if I just if I go here up, you can already see it in the preview here, I guess, depending on the quality of the stream you have right now. But this node is also here now up. And if I take this down and go, so it's down as well. So these are just a few examples saying that this is a fully fledged digital audio workstation. It's not like a funny web project where you spend 5 minutes and get bored because you cannot go further. I think what the most criticism we get is that people need more devices. Of course, that's always the thing. But
how many do you have?
We have like 40 something. And there could be more, of course, but developing a device takes a lot of time. So we are looking into ways to see if we can help, if they want that, other companies that are already having VST instruments to port them to Audio-Tool. That's all up to the next generation of the next audio engine. So then we might have a completely different thing, because now we have a release cycle of 2 years or something. But if we can just get more more companies, more people into the game to develop plugins, then that would be nice. And there's also an idea to make it more modular. So basically, you should be able to create your own plugins from scratch. So you get like a modular system. You get filters and envelopes and oscillators and LFOs and whatnot, and then you just connect them the way you want. And these can be shared with the community again, because that's one of the features that I really like. That every track that is made in Audio-Tool is available. If you want that, you can of course say, no, my track is private, but usually people make them open, so you can open every track and see how they did certain things. This is this is a big plus on the Audio-Tool side. It's a very nice community.
I have the same question like André. Can you render a WAV file out of the project and save it to your computer, or?
You can do that. It's actually the only thing where we want to have a little bit of money, but it's like $1 a month for a Patreon. So you can get a Patreon account and you can register that or link it to our account. Then you get a very nice bluish star on your profile, which people really like to have for $1 a month. It's less than a coffee, of course. And then you can export directly out of the studio. Usually you have to publish your track. And that was one of the first ideas that we, so there are two things that can make a project successful. One is, of course, money, and but the other one is getting a lot of reach outside. So the more people your the more people work with your product, the better, and the more it worth it. And that's So we decided to go for this way. Not everybody are happy with that, but usually when people come to us and say, "Hey, I have a label," and they are interested in releasing something, then we do that. Either by just giving them away this feature, or just saying, "Okay, we do it for you, and here are the WAV files." And we are happy for everyone that are actually going to a label with audio music. So that really blows us away that that's even possible.
How big is your team? Or if you started this, how many people are now working with you on this?
We are 3 developers. That's like nothing because we are doing basically everything. So we have one guy half-time working with the community to keep the, basically there's so many things that I wasn't aware of when starting that. There are, of course, bad people that are trying to break the system, but there are also people that they just want to be a producer, and they want this not for the love of music, they just want to be cool or something. So they are basically bitching around and annoy other people, and so these are all things where you usually in a community of this size you have people working just for cleaning that up or handling with these people, and but that was all on us. So in the beginning we didn't have any muting functions, blocking functions, and that's really annoying when you think I need to do this relatively boring stuff just to keep the community safe, but I would much more it would be much nicer to create the next synthesizer or drum computer.
How big is the community? How many people are now?
We crossed 2 million last or 2 years before. I really don't know right now.
Okay, that's huge.
So we have the community produced music is so when you put it all on one big tape, it's like 4 years and something, so you can listen non-stop for 4 years to audio music. Of course there's a lot of shitty tracks, test tracks and something, but there are people on audio that really push the limit of this relatively limited in terms of having not the freedom of VST where you have like millions of effect devices and stuff.
Wow, Robert, we should maybe ask André to do a remix contest for a Rob Acid track there. I mean, the community of 2 million
Definitely,
people.
that would be super nice.
We can maybe
we can set that up in a day. It's not a problem. Well, we should talk about that. That sounds good.
We should talk about it. You know what, André? We do the following. I mean, there is so much dynamic in your project, and I speak for Robert now as well, but he doesn't know. We should invite you in autumn again, and I'm pretty sure you have some news, and then we can also discuss the Remix project. And in the meanwhile, dear Marotopians, you can check out audiotool.com. I'm blown away, to be honest, because I mean, to date it's for free, which is simply incredible, and a perfect invitation for everyone who's maybe about to start with making music. And I mean, you need actually nothing. You need headphones and a computer, right?
I will check this out.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe it's something nice for traveling and still.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
André,
looking forward.
Thanks so much for being our guest tonight. By the way, happy
Pleasure's
birthday
mine.
to you. You became
Thank you.
a birthday child yesterday. So all the best for you. And happy birthday, happy birthday. I almost forgot.
No problem.
And something else, we would love to hear more music from you. So go to the studio again and make some new music.
All right.
Please.
I will try to find some time for that. Okay. Yeah, was a pleasure to be with you guys.
Wonderful.
Hope to
We'll
see you
see us
soon.
again at the end of the year. Promised?
All right. Ciao, ciao.
Perfect.
See you then.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye. And to Andy, no, I will not sell my equipment, but I will test this website. Looks interesting. I always like to try things, but I love my studio and my love is endless. So, yeah.
Yeah, of
And
course.
Mark loves his studio as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm pretty sure.
Which still has no name, but that's
Why?
another topic.
Still, we were trying to find you a good name. Yeah, that was a very interesting guest. Something new, and it's the concept of our show, right, Mark? Bringing us onto your screen and some interesting guests with interesting topics, and also playing some cool music, and also helping you if you produce music, giving you feedback. Our package is growing. The concept of Marotopia is open. And I see a face. Our next little guest is almost on the screen. Did you send André an invite link?
Not yet.
Maybe bring him up, or do we
I have
have?
a great idea. I need 1-2 minutes, and in the
Mhm.
meanwhile,
You
I
can
have
play
a
something.
fantastic idea. We can listen to the following track.
Ah,
Is it okay?
sure. Yeah.
Or am I too offensive tonight?
You can play this one, or actually, you were speaking of the electro track that you were working on for weeks. I want to hear your electro track, but sure. Dominate. Actually, this track, Dominate, was one of my tracks that worked amazing on the last 2 gigs. You could play it. Why not? Just
Okay, let's play.
for 2
And in
minutes.
the meanwhile, I will invite our next guest.
Yes.
Wow.
That was fun, believe me.
I remember when I played in UK at the beginning of the 2000s. I don't know if people are still doing this, but when people loved a track, they made this tune. And I had to think about this tune.
Nice.
They were like in front of you, like,
Wow.
tune!
Yeah, I can give you a download link,
Tune, yeah, actually.
and maybe you can
Yeah,
try it
totally.
in one of your sets. Yeah, it's not released. It's coming soon. Yeah, it's coming soon. A cool tune.
Coming
And
soon.
also an example of one sequence and drumming and little decoration, right?
Absolutely.
Enough. Works. This 5 minutes on the dance floor, people freaking out. You don't need to put 10 melodies and breakdowns like crazy. Tiny breakdown, but the rhythm is still going, so you still keep dancing and waiting for the bass drum coming back.
It's the same like with Andre's track, like A2. I mean, when you have one great element, then you don't have to add another 20 tracks. And if you are adding another 20 tracks and you think you need another 20 tracks, then you are probably doing something wrong. Okay, transition to the next topic, because every time we try to make a 90-minute transmission and never succeeds.
I see our guest is waiting.
Our guest is waiting, and before we let him in, I would love to tell you out there, dear Marotopians, what makes this show so special. We don't only invite famous DJs and producers and great people, we also invite
super great people.
Hello, Andre. How are you?
Hi.
Hello, Andre. And I know Andre really well because he's one of my students at my mastermind project. So welcome, Andre. Nice to see you again.
Hi everyone. Hi Marc. Hi Robert.
So how are you and where are you?
Let me ask you for an excuse because I'm a bit nervous. I don't expect it to be here. So if anything goes wrong, then excuse me.
Don't worry.
I'm in Ukraine, in Lviv now. So yeah.
Yeah, he's coming, living before in Kiev. Yeah, because of the situation, everyone knows these days. Yeah, he is in Lviv, but a great Ukrainian man in front of us.
Yeah, I know that you have you in our show. How's the mood in Lviv at the moment? So, I mean, we see something in news, but now we have somebody live in our show who can tell us a little bit how the
it was really like we're not okay. A bit with the news in here because lots of bad things happening, and it was pretty okay, I guess. Before couple days ago, Lviv was hit by 3 rockets. So me and my daughter, we went on a walk, and we heard that explosion, and it was pretty scary. So, and now we are moving to safe places to wait until this air raid sirens or these alarms will off, and then we can go back. But now we have lots of information coming from different sources that it's about the holiday of the victory in the World War II, I guess. I mean, I don't know how to call it in English.
Yeah,
but
we know what you mean.
yeah, so there can be massive attacks from Russian side to Ukraine. So we are scared. But what can we do?
We can just hope for the best and make some music in order to distract us a little bit, and therefore music is really good. I really hope, I mean, I was in Ukraine many times, but I was never in Lviv or Lemberg, as we say in Germany, and I saw pictures. It must be a wonderful town, and I hope that I can go there one day and drink a coffee with you. So let's hope the best. But now let's jump into
not only the coffee, but
not only the
music.
coffee, yeah.
I've
Of
been
course.
to. I was playing in Lviv. Really nice people and beautiful old city. Yeah, nice.
So
But,
let's jump into the music.
yeah.
I mean, that's
Music.
what our show is for, and there's a special reason why we have invited you. Because yesterday you sent us some questions, and while you sent us the questions on the Discord server, I was actually chatting to Robert, and I just showed him your message. And then we came to the spontaneous idea, because we are all Marotopians and we are all one community, that we would love to invite you to our show tonight. And here you are. And now you have the wonderful opportunity to ask us these questions. And by the way, if you want, you can stay at the track check. We will listen to another 2 tracks. And if you want, you can stay later.
Actually, please stay for the track check, because one guy I choose for our track feedback, he asked me if André can stay and translate because he cannot speak English.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, perfect. So, yeah.
The question I was asking, and I'm still asking, if I would like to go deeper in music industry, because I have certain level of production, and I release music on my own, and also I release with different small labels, and I have local known in local community in Ukraine. But for me, it's a big problem to develop myself as an artist, because lots of different information comes around. And for diving deeper, I asked for advice in any I don't know, courses, mentoring programs, I don't know, personal mentorship, one-on-ones, other, I don't know, paid trainings or some stuff to understand how to develop myself as an artist. Because in controversy to that thing that you're talking for 2 or 3 last shows about the pure energy and raw stuff, and people want now
I feel the really different thing. I'm that nice guy which makes like nice
Yes,
music.
you are.
So yeah. Yeah, so it's more into like melodic and deep things, not like into dance floor. So I was
Mhm.
never into I felt never so much deep relation with the club culture. Like I because my sets are best for like opening things or stuff like that. But now with this COVID thing, I see that there are lots of interest to deeper music, to some interesting projects that can come around. So like playing like in the, I don't know, swimming pool, like 8Ks show us. Yeah. So, or like playing on the exhibitions, or like playing in some interesting like scenes or places. And also people who are into deeper music, they also want to socialize, and they come to different events. So I feel now like I more would like to relate to growing as an artist in I don't know if it's correct to call it still club culture, because it's more art culture, music culture, like electronic music culture. So I hope I was clear enough
I
to.
can catch your drift. It's of course a very complex topic and full of endless many levels and aspects. But I understand you that you wanna go the next step. And in one of our first episodes, I think we listened already to music from you, and you have already a certain level. So you wanna find out how to go the next steps, and that's why you are around, correct?
Yeah.
I think you wrote us because of our post on the Marotopia Discord server when we asked about Patreon, correct?
Yeah, it was like
Because
I thought about that
yeah,
connection.
and Patreon is of course something Robert and I are currently talking about, and we want to go the next step with Marotopia. We want to offer you special services and material and exclusive material just you can get. And we have just started the discussion about what we can offer you guys out there. And there are two different groups of people who are Marotopians. On the one hand, you have music lovers who just want to listen to good music and to get to know us. And of course, there are a lot of producers who want to go the next step. And of course, we want to help you. We want to support you. And I think I also speak for Robert, who can take over afterwards. It would be a pleasure to transfer our knowledge and our impressions and all our experience to you, because that makes a lot of fun, and that's also the reason why we are giving frequently master classes and one-to-one mentoring. Robert, you want to take over?
Actually, I would. Yeah, Andre actually know my point of view on this. Being yourself, being as much. I mean, in your case, I would say be as much as possible, Andre, because the way how you do your art and how you like show yourself is a certain brand. You are already a brand, and you don't need to try to be someone different. The only thing is you need to be as much as possible yourself, because then you can offer something different to what the market already have. It's you. You know, trying to copy something that other people do, the originals are already there. Nobody needs to copy, but the scene needs something like you can offer, your really personal style, your music, and if it's more deep, then do it as deep as possible. Don't care what other people say. Really do.
Yeah.
If you love what you do, the people will feel that, and they respond to this.
Yeah, if you love what you do and when you are able to express it. I mean, we are already in the middle of a one-to-one mentoring, and of course, it's not possible to discuss all these aspects in a few minutes or even in an hour. So every time we make a mentoring, we can talk about 1, 2, 3 topics and aspects, and then you have to go the so-called politics of the baby steps. I mean, no one can make a giant step in 1 month or half a year. I mean, we are doing this now for such a long time, and as we mentioned already in our shows, in our previous shows, we always learn every day. I learn every day. I just explored a fantastic plug-in by Urs Heckmann yesterday, a delay plugin I never knew. I've never known before, and I was completely amazed. It's a delay plugin. Somebody can write it in the comments. I forgot the exact name, but something with colors. I explored it yesterday, and I'm completely amazed by it. And here we are already at one aspect of life. Although there are so many bad things going on in this world, the world is still full of nice surprises and things we can explore. And the music is, for me, the field where I can explore something. So when I find a new plugin, it's to me like walking on a field and finding a flower and looking at this flower, how great the colors are. And Robert is already right when he says that that you have to be yourself. But we are talking also about psychology at the moment, because a lot of people would now say, yeah, but how can I do this? How can I be yourself? How can I express myself? And this is something we have to reach. You cannot say, okay, be yourself, and then, okay, I'm myself. Okay, now I know what to do. It's a process. And as long as I do this mentoring stuff or talk to people after masterclasses or during masterclasses, I realized how much we are also talking about psychology. And we want to invite somebody. I think in June we will invite Paul, or end of May. Let's see. We are still, by the way, trying to get a lot of different exciting guests who can back up us. So, because besides being yourself, it's a very good idea to watch Marotopia every week. Because when you listen carefully, there are always little bits and pieces, Robert and I mentioning, which can help to go a step further.
Just because I saw this here, question exactly. I personally think the time is over to go and shop for labels. I think we reached a time where you, as an artist, you care yourself about everything. In a way, back in the days, a label was building up an artist. Right now, if you go on Spotify, there is no sign of any labels. It's all about the artist. It's the artist, right? You don't go on Spotify and let's see who is show me the best acts on Systematic. No, the acts are there and there are releases. So my tip is these days, don't care so much about labels. Create maybe even your own ones. Release, work your ass off on every release. Try to make it the best possible that you can at that moment, and just do it. Every beautiful idea is nice, but it's getting like super nice if you make an action out of an idea, right?
Yeah, with the label, I half agree and half disagree. When you have a look on Spotify, you're right, but when you have a look on Beatport or on a record store, the label still counts. I don't want to defend a label in general or Systematic as a label, but basically it's a good idea not to look too much on any labels, because it can also be dangerous in so far that you try to adapt the sound of the label, or that you try to sound like the label. And then, for example, when you send something to Systematic, I always have demos with which sounds like Romboy, Babbage, but Botzin all together, or one of them. I mean, of course, these three artists are the main artists on the label, and yeah, it's a matter of fact. But the label can also be helpful in the moment when the label appreciates the artist and the artist appreciates the label. And
that's
when this happens, there can be a nice dynamic. And I mean, Marotopia is also was also established to find you out there, because I have my problems to listen to demos which come to the label more or less anonymous. I mean, and lots of people, they send their music to 100 labels, and as in one of the previous shows, some make copy paste, and then they write "Hi there" or "Hello" or "Hi Steve" in brackets Buck. But I'm not book of that. I'm Systematic. So and then I think, oh my God, what are you guys doing? This cannot be true. That you're sending out such an email. But to come back to the label idea, something has to grow. And of course, one might find it difficult to contact a label, but I would compare it a bit to a relationship. I mean, when you find a partner, you also don't send an email. Something has to grow before. And I mentioned it already in every masterclass. When Robert and I or another DJ is playing somewhere, then go there and give him a USB stick or a CD or a record or a dub plate or I don't know, something which makes music.
Give him something to drink.
Give him something to drink.
It's the first
contact. Try to be creative. I mean, I also made dub plates and sent them to Sven Feed. Also with Randomized, I sent him a dub plate 1 year ago. Be creative with transmitting your music to others, and to everybody out there, copy-paste email is maybe not the key.
Right.
It was the second tip, like do not send copy paste.
And we could talk about it for another 3 hours or 30 hours or 300 hours, because there are so many aspects. And I mean, that's something for mentoring and maybe for another show episode. Besides being yourself when you make music, it's also important that you can transmit this message. And of course, the social networks are annoying a lot of people. But on the other hand, I have the comparison to the good old times where you were depending on a bigger label, so that the label says, okay, I invest money into the marketing of you as an artist. And since MySpace, in brackets 2004, 2005, these times are over. Everyone can market him or herself, which is really great. And yeah, of course, you have to put a lot of effort into the social networking, But
Oh, yeah.
I always find social network channels like a white sheet of paper where you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can post like I did it on the socials recently, where I showed the arrangement of randomized. Everyone can do it every day. I mean, everything is possible, and I find, by all critics to Facebook, Meta, and Twitter, and all their algorithms, I still find it amazing that we have our own platform in order to become more popular and to tell the people, or to let the people know how and who we are. And this is amazing. Robert?
Yeah. Actually, I'm besides telling everybody he should be himself, I'm also saying all the guys that I try to help, or girls, take care of your social media. Really take care of this and take it serious. It's important. It's really important. It's like 50% of almost of your artistic life these days. That's just how we live, right?
Yeah, and Robert, I mean, you are a wonderful example for great social networking. I mean, you really love your followers, you love your fans.
Oh yeah, of
You
course.
see it every day, and I'm always impressed how much energy you can put into this. And yeah, you are a wonderful poster boy for this, how to do it. And I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
people react, and you have this connection, and then if you play somewhere and you meet, like in Poland last weekend, I met people I knew from Facebook, right? And they came and shook hand and gave me something to drink. It was nice. It was nice.
yeah.
Like really, I enjoyed it. Mark, should we start the track feedback because we are really going? Yeah.
Once again,
So I just sent out the invitation to Recapo. He should now. Yes, please join.
Andre, do you want to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this artist asked me just minutes ago if Andre can help with translation because he's not so good in English. So please, Andre, help us.
Let's listen.
Okay.
coffee break. I don't need no stars. Won't go asking for a raise. Baby, you're the boss. I don't take no coffee break. I don't need no stars. Won't go asking for a raise. Baby, you're the boss. I don't take no coffee break now. And I don't need no stars. Won't go asking for a raise, no. Baby, you're the boss. I don't take no coffee break now. And I don't need no stars. Won't go asking for a raise, no. Baby, you're the boss. I don't take no coffee break. I don't need no stars. Won't go asking for a raise. Baby, you're the boss. I don't take no coffee break. I don't need no stars. Won't go asking for a raise. Baby, you're the boss.
Here we go.
Yeah, for all the people outside, if you are part of the Marotopia Discord server, you can listen to this track in good quality in the demo feedback stream, or go on his SoundCloud here. So welcome.
Hello, guys.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, Mark.
Who
Hello,
are
Robert.
you? Who are you, and where are you from?
I'm native from Russia, but living in Italy since 25. So I'm European,
Okay.
90%.
Yeah, welcome to Marotopia. So, André can translate a little bit.
Если можешь, Андрей, то буду тебе очень благодарен. Тебе огромное спасибо.
We keep it very simple, no problem. Yeah, thanks for showing us the track. I must hurry up a little bit, Robert.
Yeah.
You want to start with some feedback?
With the feedback, actually, while I was listening, I thought it sounded nice and mystical, and actually a full story. It sounds I know the sound quality is really bad here, right? Mono and very bad compression and everything, but still you could feel the love coming through. I personally, I thought, wow, that's super professional. Sounds like a professional musician here. I have to I have to check this after our show on my monitor system here, like in good quality. I personally liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
I want to tell this track will be changed because the vocal is I take this vocal from library from Splice, so it's a common vocal, and this track will be released in Univac label. Label of integral breed artists, and now I'm collabing with an artist, a singer, and we're creating exclusive vocal for this track.
That's a very, very good idea. Yeah, that was one of my questions. Is this where the vocal is coming from? But actually, usually you can feel it's if the vocal is coming out of a sample library. But here, I thought, wow, it's actually you integrated this vocal quite well.
Thank you so much.
I was just missing a bit of compression. I mean, of course, you cannot hear the music one-to-one via the stream, but I heard some variation of the vocal volume. So I can imagine that it can have some compression on the vocal, because sometimes it was a bit loud, sometimes it was a bit quieter, and this stressed me personally a little bit when I listened to it.
Андрей, я тебе тогда расскажу, а ты переведешь. Сейчас здесь больше такое будет. На вокале я только подрезал низа, чтобы дать пространство и кику, и басу. Накинул синчейн и реверба чуть-чуть дал. Больше там ничего нету, никакой компрессии, ничего. Подрезал еще некоторые частоты по среднему, по верхнему диапазону. Ну, точечно подрезал, и все, больше ничего.
So what is he saying?
Okay, there is a low cut and side chain, and also some cut on some frequencies and the reverberation on the vocal, and nothing else. And he says there is no compression.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But why you have sidechain on a vocal? Why?
I made sidechain of all of sounds, but not kick and bass.
Yeah, but don't worry. Listen to the track again. Go from, let's say, 4-bar location to 4-bar location, and always have an ear on how loud or how quiet the vocal is. I mean, I'm pretty sure that when you focus on it again, that you can enhance it a little bit. There's another thing I would like to mention before we have to jump to the next track, because it's so extended once again. I think it was in the last third of the track when she stopped to sing and you made an instrumental part. I think it was in the last 25%. And here I have to repeat myself once again. Nice guy. You're also a nice guy. I can see and feel that. When the instrumental plays, make it more exciting, because it was just muted vocal and then the instrumental just played further. But the thing is, as soon as the vocal is muted or not playing anymore, spot on the music. And if there's a spot on the music, on the instrumental, make it exciting. Play with everything. Play with cut off and delays and another sound. Make it exciting so that people are like, wow, now is the instrumental part now, which is, of course, really helpful, because then you are keen to listen to the vocal again. But when you make the instrumental part, please make it more edgy and more exciting. Please.
I get you.
Okay?
Yeah, very good tip from Marc, really.
Okay. Thanks so much. We have to jump to the next one. Thanks for
Thank you
showing
so
us
much
the track.
for opportunity.
And we see us on Discord, right?
Yeah, he's very active, always there from the beginning, right? You are part of our crew here of Discord. I think I saw your name from the beginning, from the very beginning. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
André,
so
thanks
much.
for translating. Thank you. We see us on Discord.
We see us on Discord. Thank you, André. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, the last track, and then we have to say goodbye for today.
Our techno beauty sleep.
Yes, and actually, I couldn't reach this guy, so we just listened to the track, and I don't know if he's here with us today. So let's just listen and see what's going on.
Here we go.
Play. I heard maybe 5 tracks in one track.
Yes.
And a constant stop and go and stop and go and stop and go and stop and go. There were some elements that could be a full track, but he changed constantly. Yeah, the groove, the energy was actually nice, but he, for my personal taste, because he changed constantly, I personally lost interest after like half of the track, because you couldn't focus on one nice idea. For me it was too much, but maybe Mark. Anyway, cool track, but somehow too much inside.
Yeah, the flow is missing. This is for sure, and this is maybe the greatest, let's say, problem of the track. Nevertheless, I hear very good aspects. So he is. The songs are a bit oblique and a bit edgy, what I like, and he doesn't, or she doesn't, try to stay in one harmonic context. So there is some courage inside this track, and the substance is really good. So the only advice I can give here, and I think that's the main advice you have just mentioned, try to make it more fluently. So the track should have a flow, and then the track would be much, much stronger, because the substance is good. And there are little great ideas, but for sure too many ideas which distract from the theme. Yes. Yeah, Susie. Disorder sometimes in my brain too, so I understand it. Yeah, I mean, we are talking about music which happens on the dance floor, and on the dance floor we need a flow, right? But hey, good talent. So when you hear the stream or when you listen to us, continue and put a focus on the flow. Go with the flow. It's maybe the best ending for tonight.
Yes.
2 hours and almost 10 minutes. Oh my God. This was the longest episode of our Marotopia show.
Yeah.
Robert, it's time to say goodbye, right?
It's time to say goodbye. Yeah. It's a long evening already. It was great as always. I enjoyed it. We had a cool guest. And also nice to have André today in our stream.
André and André. And André.
Yeah.
And André.
Exactly.
And André.
See all of you next week, right? With something new.
Yeah, looking forward to the next episode. We see us on Discord. As you can feel, we are around a lot. So let us know your comments about this show, how you liked it. And see you at the next episode of Marotopia. Take care. Thanks so much and goodbye.
Bye-bye.